Hey there, coffee breakers. Welcome to another episode of Coffee Break with Carlos Michael, the flagship show. Today is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025, and the title of today's show is Crossroads. Where do I go from here? Following a negative event that occurred on Sunday afternoon, which led to a decision being made more emotionally than by reason, which in turn caused me to feel as if I were at a crossroads. A holding pattern, if you will. I believe the main question I was most likely asking myself this morning was the following: enough is enough? Where do I go from here? I will discuss that after the break, but first, let's coffee break. Hi there, coffee breakers, and welcome back. It seems that I have arrived at a crossroads, a juncture where a decision is imperative. I must weigh the evidence before me and determine what course of action will best serve my greater good, although I wish I did not have to focus on myself. I thrive more or better or best when my thoughts and actions are devoted toward God and or my neighbors. Now, the questions that haunt me are these. 1, why do I continue to engage in actions I no longer desire or know to be wrong? Secondly, why do I stay in places where I feel I no longer belong? Third, why can't I summon the courage, operative word or keyword here is courage, to do what is right? 63 years of life lived, and I still find myself possessing or living what I don't want and failing to be the person I believe God has called me to be. And that's important to me. Reflecting on my past, I see my footprints meandering, not following a linear path. Instead, they wandered in various directions without a clear destination in the past. Why is that? So, what am I really saying? Well, I needed some help with this, so I consulted with Microsoft Copilot, which is an AI bot kind of thing that helps me to get some clarity on stuff, and I try to use it in a godly way, okay? But according to Microsoft Copilot, based on what these questions I was asking and this reflection that I started having this morning, I am expressing deep introspection and a personal struggle with direction, purpose, and change. I have reached a point in my life, parentheses, where a decision must be made, exclamation point. Yet, I feel trapped in patterns I wish to break. At the heart of my words is a conflict between what I desire spiritually, which is devotion to God and to others, and the reality of my choices, which seem misaligned with that calling. I am wrestling with why I remain in places that no longer serve God's will, why I continue behaviors I no longer want, and why I hesitate to move toward that right path, even when I know it. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of us. According to Microsoft Copilot, I feel disconnected from my true aspirations, holding on to things that do not fulfill me while longing for something greater. My past appears scattered, without a clear journey, and I often wonder why my steps never followed a straight, intentional path. According to Copilot, this reflection is raw, honest, and searching, suggesting that I long for clarity, courage, and alignment with my faith and purpose. Then Copilot asked, would you like help exploring what steps might bring a sense of peace, direction, and renewal? My response was, yes, of course, I would. Copilot then said, Carlos, I hear the weight of this reflection. You're wrestling with change, questioning past choices, and longing for alignment with God's will and your own true purpose. This crossroads, parentheses, isn't just about decision making. It's about breaking cycles, finding courage, and stepping into what you were meant to be. So, step number 1, recognize that restlessness is a call to change. That feeling of not belonging, not receiving what you need, and holding on to what you don't want, that's not something to ignore. When your spirit feels unsettled, it's often because God is calling you towards something greater. If where you are no longer brings peace, then staying in that place physically, emotionally, or spiritually might be holding you back. So, here is the challenge. Ask yourself honestly, what is pulling me toward God and what is pulling me away? Okay. Number 2, breaking free from patterns that no longer serve you. You ask, this is co-pilot talking to me. You ask, why do I continue actions I no longer desire to know? I no longer desire or that I know to be wrong. Habits don't disappear instantly, according to Copilot. They weaken when we actively replace them with better choices. That much, I don't want to say that, but I do agree. I've seen that in my own life since 2017. Sometimes it's not comfort keeping us stuck. It's fear of stepping into the unknown. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Sometimes it's not comfort keeping us stuck. It's fear of stepping into the unknown. Breaking free starts with small, deliberate actions, choosing what aligns with your values, even in small moments. So here is the challenge. Identify one small action today where you choose faith and growth over old patterns. Okay, number 3, moving beyond fear, choosing courage even when it's hard. I asked, why can't I summon the courage to do what is right? Copilot says, courage isn't about waiting until you feel ready. It's about acting despite the fear. When you step into faith-driven choices, you'll find that fear loses its grip over time. God does not call us to be perfect before we act. He calls us to trust and step forward anyway. That is so key. God does not call us to be perfect before we act. He calls us to trust and step forward. So, what is the challenge? Speak this truth aloud. Lord, I choose your path today, even if I feel uncertain. Give me the strength to step forward. 4, view your past as a journey, not a mistake. You wonder, why did my footprints wander without a clear destination? That's me asking myself that question this morning, one of the questions I was reflecting on. Copilot said, every step, even the missteps, shaped your growth and wisdom. Maybe those past detours weren't wasted. Maybe they prepared you for what's ahead, which is kind of something my youngest son said to me, but in a different way. Instead of regretting, look at what those experiences taught you, because now you have the awareness to change. That's really powerful for me. So the challenge, write down what your past experiences taught you, even the ones that felt like wandering. Number 5, choosing faith over hesitation, trusting that God is already making a way. You thrive when your thoughts and actions are devoted to God and others. So now, let that devotion guide your next steps. 1, God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for willingness. The path forward, this is number 2, is already being prepared. Your only job is to step toward it, even one small step at a time. And number 3, the question is no longer, why am I stuck? It's, where does God want me to go next? According to Copilot, this crossroads isn't an ending, it's an invitation. Copilot then asked, what's the first step you feel most ready to take today, Carlos? My response, not to be afraid, to say yes to God and move in accordance with his will. Carlos, this is the moment, according to Copilot, the breakthrough where hesitation turns into bold faith. Saying yes to God means trusting even when the path is unclear. moving forward without fear, and walking in obedience, knowing that He is already leading the way. You're choosing courage over comfort, faith over uncertainty. That decision alone is powerful. Now, take action. Step into His will, even if it's small. Speak your yes aloud. Affirm it daily. Move where He is calling you, whether in prayer, service, or life decisions. Let go of fear. Trust that He equips those who step forward in faith. God doesn't wait for perfect people. He uses willing hearts. And Carlos, you are ready to move. Co-pilot then asked, "What's the first step you feel called to take today, Carlos?" My response? Trust. I want my first step to be about trust, surrender, and faith. Co-pilot then said, "Carlos, since your first priority is not being afraid and saying yes to God, I recommend starting with an intentional act of surrender, a moment where you consciously give your trust to God and step into His will. Step number 1, pray a bold yes to God and speak it out loud. Lord, I surrender my fear. I choose to trust you. Lead me, and I will follow." Doing this daily will reinforce your commitment and strengthen your faith. Number 2, or step 2, act in alignment with your faith. That makes sense, right? Faith moves when we take action. Say yes to something you've been hesitating on. Oh, yes, I say yes, whether it's service, deeper prayer, or a needed change. Or moving forward with that 501c3 We Serve Oklahoma. If God has been stirring something in your heart, follow through on it today. Step 3, walk with confidence. Fear fades when faith takes the lead. Start your day with the belief that you are fully supported by God. And that is an affirmation I need to tell myself every morning as well. Thank you, Lord, for this day. I know that I am fully supported by you. When doubt creeps in, reject it immediately and replace it with truth. I walk by faith, not by sight. This isn't just about one moment. This is the beginning of a movement. You're being me, stepping into who God has called you to be, and He will equip you as you move forward. Co-pilot then asked this follow-up question. Carlos, what's the first specific action you feel ready to take right now? I'll help you shape it if you need my help. My response, can you explain what you mean by first specific action? I had a general idea, but I wanted to make sure I had full clarity on this. So co-pilot's response was, absolutely, Carlos. A first specific action is a concrete, tangible step you take to move forward in faith. Something clear and actionable rather than just an ideal or intention. For example, if you're saying yes to God and choosing to live boldly, your first specific action could be praying out loud each morning, not just in thought, but actively declaring your surrender to God. Attending a faith-based event, such as a retreat, Bible study, or Mass, where you engage with others seeking growth. Making a change you've hesitated on, whether it's a personal habit, relationship, or commitment that aligns more with your faith. Serving in a way that stretches you, volunteering, mentoring, or offering help where God has placed a need in your heart. The first specific action is about moving from thought to action. So your faith is lived, not just contemplated. And now I know what I must do. Please pray for me, coffee breakers, as I will pray for you. This is not going to be easy, but I am ready to take the first step forward, that first specific action, which is yes and surrender. That's it for today. Until next time, love God, pray daily, be a great neighbor, do good to others, share your blessings, bathe daily, change your underwear, and be good to yourself.